The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Pentard says he'll remain loyal to the FNM if he loses. And the jury is selected in the trial of Kirk Cornish. In our interviews later, we're talking about the World Relays. You don't want to miss that. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. It's the start of the new way. You know it's the start of the end of the old day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesne is joining us. In Morning Blend Business, we'll be talking about the Bahamas School of Business and Technology. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. And in the overnight, Free National Movement leader Michael Pentard yesterday expressed that he will emerge victorious in the party's leadership race at its June 1st convention, but said in the unlikely event of a loss, he would not undermine the party's leadership, quote, unlike others. It was an apparent swipe at former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who on the weekend confirmed he is considering a run for FNM leader. Minnis led the party from 2012 to 2021 when he resigned several weeks after the FNM's crushing defeat in the last general election. And lawyers in Kirk Cornish's criminal trial on Monday selected 9 jurors who will determine whether he's guilty of raping, assaulting, and threatening a woman he once dated. Cornish, the member of parliament from Apico, has pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors say that the incident took place between January 4th and April 20th, 2023. Presiding Justice Renee McKay urged jurors to make their decision based on the evidence and not to conduct any independent research. She warned jurors not to discuss the case with anyone else besides other members of the panel. The prosecution is expected to make their opening statements and call witnesses when the case resumes today at 11 a.m. And police discovered the partially decomposed body of a man in bushes off Frank Watson Boulevard yesterday, Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings said. Skippings said it was unclear how the man died or if police believe he was murdered. Sometime around 2:30 p.m. today, she said, using a drone, officers discovered a truck that fit the description of a truck owned by a man who was reported missing sometime last week. Skipping said she did not want to identify the victim until his family had a chance to. At the scene, relatives and other onlookers waited as police examined the area. When a tow truck dragged a Dodge Ram truck out of bushes, relatives let out a piercing scream. And months after he declared the Davis administration opposes the idea of the Freedom of Information Act, Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell said yesterday the media took his comments too literally. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard raised the matter in the House of Assembly as he accused the government of failing to be transparent. But Mitchell said, quote, "You keep talking about a Freedom of Information Act. The problem I have is that the journalists in the country, present company accepted, are too literal. And so when I'm engaged in irony and sarcasm, they go running off the deep end about what I said and what I don't believe and what I say. You know, don't be mistaking me for that." Clearly, the government's position is it supports the Freedom of Information Act. And Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell also said yesterday it's not possible to have a rational discussion on immigration in the Bahamas, and noted the government is as transparent as it thinks is necessary on this issue. He said, quote, "We are as transparent as we think is necessary to be in this country without inflaming the passions of xenophobia." Mitchell said this during a debate in the House of Assembly on amendments to the Immigration Act that would allow for digital documentation for foreigners entering the Bahamas. He added, quote, "We keep running on about this, but what I'm saying is that what happens is that when we have these discussions, you keep asking about why the government doesn't engage this. It's because you cannot have a rational discussion on immigration in this country." And in news overseas, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Monday that Israel must do more to increase the flow of humanitarian aid into the besieged Gaza Strip, and that he would use his Middle East trip, his seventh of the region since the Israel-Hamas war started in October, to press the case with Israeli leaders. Speaking at events in Saudi Arabia's capital, Blinken said the best way to ease the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza would be to conclude an elusive ceasefire agreement, which would also release Israeli hostages held by Hamas since its October 7th attacks launched the war. Hamas has been presented with an extraordinarily generous offer by Israel that he hoped the group would accept, he said. And NATO countries haven't delivered what they promised to Ukraine in time, the alliance's chief said Monday, allowing Russia to press its advantage while Kyiv's depleted forces wait for military supplies to arrive from the US and Europe. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg told a news conference in Kyiv with President Volodymyr Zelensky, quote, "Serious delays in support have meant serious consequences on the battlefield. Outgunned, Ukraine's troops have struggled to fend off Russian advances on the battlefield. They were recently compelled to make a tactical retreat from 3 villages in the east, where the Kremlin's forces have been making incremental gains," Ukraine's army chief said Sunday. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed Monday its forces had also taken the village of Semenivka. Let's turn our attention to sports now. Just a little too much separated Bahamian Denisha Cartwright from an Olympic qualifying time in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the 114th running of the Drake Relays at Drake Stadium in Des Moines, Iowa on Saturday. Cartwright, a senior for the Minnesota State University Mankato Mavericks, stormed out of the blocks like she was shot out of a cannon and was clean over the 10 barriers on her way to gold in the University College women's 100-meter hurdles final. After running 13.01 seconds in the heats on Friday, she came back and ran 12.71 seconds on Saturday. Both times were wind-aided, but just barely. The time in the final was just 0.1 meters per second over the allowable wind reading of 2.0. It would have easily been a personal best time for her and well under the Olympic qualifying time of 12.77 seconds. Cartwright's personal best time in the event is 13.04 seconds, a mark that she will almost certainly break under the right conditions. She said, quote, "I just feel like I need to keep progressing. There is more room for improvement, but I feel the race was executed like how it needed it to be. The time will come. It's been great so far, just looking forward to drop time every season. Once I stay healthy and keep my body right, I feel like I will continue to progress." And Walcott hits his first home run of the year for the Crawdads. It took a while in coming, but when he got to the pitch, he wanted Sebastian Walcott. Sebastian Walcott took advantage of it and drove it over the left field wall for his first home run of the season for the Hickory Crawdads, the High A affiliate of the Texas Rangers in minor league baseball. His batting average in number 3 position. Walcott had a solo home run in 4 at-bats for the Crawdads, but they lost 5-4 to the Asheville Tourists at LP France Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina, in the South Atlantic League play. And the World Athletic Relays Bahamas 2024 is now just 5 days away and set for May 4th and 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium in Nassau, the Bahamas. On Wednesday, the British High Commission will welcome the Great Britain and Northern Ireland team to the Bahamas for the World Relays. The 32 athletes from Great Britain and Northern Ireland will join the world's top performing athletes from about 50 countries to compete with the hopes of qualifying relay teams for the Paris Olympic Games later this year. In sports overseas, Jamal Murray overcame a strained left calf. Management's suggestion he sit this one out, and another haymaker from the Los Angeles Lakers to score 32 points and sink the game-winning shot with 3.6 seconds left Monday night. That sent LeBron James to his earliest playoff exit ever, and the Denver Nuggets tottering into round 2 with a 108-106 win in Game 5 that featured 16 lead changes and 10 ties, and was only secured when Taurean Prince's half-court heave fell short as time expired. Murray, who also hit the franchise's first playoff buzzer beater in Game 2, said, quote, "Shout out to the Lakers, they gave us a great series." That's sports, and that's the overnight. It's time now for your first look at weather. And here's your forecast for today and tonight, Tuesday, April 30th. The general situation: a broad Atlantic high-pressure system continues to produce moderate to strong winds as it dominates the weather across the Bahamas, while a low-level trough in the Great Bahama Bank and along the Old Bahama Channel is producing unsettled weather over the western, central, and southeast Bahamas. Sea swells continue along the northeast and east coastlines. Beachgoers should be alert due to the high risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed shores and northeast and easterly beaches. There is a risk of overtopping waves and saltwater inundation along seawalls and coastal areas. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny, breezy, and warm with isolated showers. Fair to partly cloudy and breezy with isolated showers tonight. Small craft advisory continues. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, becoming 10 to 15 knots tonight. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore, building 5 to 7 feet over open waters and along Atlantic exposures in northeast and easterly swells. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, warm and windy with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, heavy to severe at times in the Great Bahama Bank and along the Old Bahama Channel, becoming partly cloudy, warm and breezy with isolated showers tonight. Small craft advisory is in effect for the central Bahamas, and small craft should not venture far from the port in the southeast Bahamas. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots in the central Bahamas, increasing 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet along shore, 4 to 6 feet near shore in the central Bahamas, and 5 to 7 feet near shore in the southeast Bahamas, building 6 to 8 feet over open waters and along Atlantic exposures in the northeast and easterly swells. Your daytime high temperature today, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius. Your overnight low temperature, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. We'll have an extended forecast for you later in the show. As your first look at weather. When we come back, we're discussing some of the day's top stories. That's when Morning Blend continues here on Guardian Radio 96.9, home of fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Get ready! On May 4th and 5th, athletes from around the world will compete to secure their spot in the Paris Olympics. Come, witness history as our Bahamian athletes run against the world and chase the sun. From paradise to Paris at the BTC World Athletic Relays here in Nassau, Bahamas at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Get your tickets now at worldrelaysbahamas24.org or at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium box office or at BTC Mall at Marathon or BTC Southwest Plaza. BTC World Relays. Be there.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on www.guardiantalkradio.com and the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices and on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. Guardian Radio is all over social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Chester Robards. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. So glad to be with you again.
Good. Happy to be here this morning, too.
Yeah. In this capacity.
Yes, you are our host today.
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
Thank you. You can join our conversation today as well. Tweet us at morningblend969 or follow the hashtag morningblend. Be sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/morningblend969. Leave your comments and read what others are saying about topics on the show. You can email us at morningblend@nascar.com or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC. Text us at 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Of course, standard text rates do apply. You can also call us. We always love to hear your voice. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And if you're on the Family Islands, call us toll-free, 242-300-5720. Also coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. And we have business news coming up in Morning Blend Business at 9 a.m. In our 8 o'clock hour, we'll be talking about the World Relays. That's coming up days away. And in Morning Blend Business, we'll be talking about the School of Business and Technology. But first, it's time to talk about what's in the news. And in the news, I think there's the first text that came in this morning, I think this person is trying to troll Lakers fans. Because they're like, well, morning, sorry I wasn't following. Did the Lakers lose or did the Lakers win? If you wasn't following, how did you know I was talking about that in the first place?
That is so cute.
Wow.
Boy, these sports games, they be topics of hot conversation.
Yeah,
Heated.
boy.
I love to see the camaraderie.
Not my cup of tea, so. Oh, they said they came in on the tail end. They were serious.
Okay.
Yeah. Brought them gone home. Or to the Bahamas, apparently. So.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the Bahamas. Come for some vacation.
Someone sent
relax
them on,
it.
they said they sent them on vacation, really. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway. Yeah. So, in the news, some interesting things. So, we got Michael Pintard. is it a political thing, a politician thing? Just throw shade all over the place?
I think it is.
It is, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is.
It's
the nature of politics.
right.
Yeah.
And then even within your party, you just be throwing shade at people.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Pintard tells the Nassau Guardian that if he loses, he's going to remain loyal to the FNM and not undermine the party's leadership, quote, unlike others. Now, who could he be talking
I don't know, but that sounds a little deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to know a little bit more about that. Unlike others.
So there's that. And we can spend some time trying to figure out, or maybe we shouldn't spend time trying to figure out, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell. But okay, let's start with this, because this person who's texting is just like on it about these Lakers.
The Lakers.
Like, oh boy, these Lakers having a funeral then. Uh-oh. What? This person says internet was down in Central Andros for more than 3 weeks. No explanation, but 1 day late and your service is disconnected. Yes, air all of your grievances today.
Yeah.
Please explain to the people of Central Andros why the internet was down.
For 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
And certainly there
How
should
does
be
one
some sort of refund or something for not having
Yeah.
service. Actually, I think that's even built into their contract. So,
Give them some. Or
usually
else,
they wait for you to ask, right? So you have to ask for your refund.
well, if you don't, Urca coming for you. Please ask whoever your service provider is for some money back, and then if they don't give it to you, go to Urca, because Urca been laying on these fines, boy.
Oh.
A little proud of Urca.
And then don't forget the Consumer Protection Act is there too.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. This person says World Relays is coming up, which means what, they focus on that?
Is that the same
So
person?
they can't fix your tank?
Oh, well, they said this place is ready, so maybe they shifted their focus back to everyday. But I don't know if that was the whole utility is dealing with the relays. So
Then see what this morning could be. Oh, boy.
why not? Let's hear it. Yeah.
LeBron on vacation with Dwight.
That is funny.
Boy. This person says, thanks, exactly. They should be refunded, saying not the same person.
Yeah,
I know they ain't the same person.
They
Coming
should,
from a different number.
They should be refunded. Sorry, I can't see the numbers, but he can. So,
So it sounds like y'all ain't going to the World Relays then. Yeah, I'm sure. You going? You don't?
That's not my cup of tea.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun though.
Yeah.
Watching the relays. Relays is always a fun thing to watch.
Are they televising it?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Not
They
that I have
televise it,
TV.
then-
I mean, not that I have. But I just wanted to know.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out today. They're
Okay,
coming to
great.
talk to us
Oh,
in the 8:30 hour, and
Awesome.
we'll find out where things are and how the athletes
great.
them looking.
Great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy.
Y'all loving us for Chester this
what is
morning.
happening? Chester, good morning. Don't do this. Let's get some education in here, please. I wanted to learn something. Yes, you're going to learn something. I promise. Okay. They're talking about Olympics. All right. Yes. So, Fred Mitchell, talking about the fact that the government does support the Freedom of Information Act, right? Mm-hmm. So we've said on this show before that Fred Mitchell was saying that, yes, the government is concerned about the Freedom of Information Act, but it's not a priority at the moment. So, of course, the opposition has been all over that comment, right? And so Fred Mitchell says, months after he declared the Davis administration opposes the idea, and this is in quotes, of the Freedom of Information Act, Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell said yesterday that the media took his comments too literally. Okay. Okay. Again, politicians, right? And their mores, whatever they are. So they throw shade, and then they make sarcastic comments that they don't clarify, that the media then publishes, and then they come back and call it a joke.
But shouldn't they take what you say literally? Like,
one would think.
unless, of course, you're sharing a story that leads us to a certain conclusion or whatever, but what you say is what you say. And so shouldn't people take that literally?
Right.
Why would you want to leave it up to someone's interpretation? Like, be clear and concise with what you say, particularly if you know the media is in the room.
Right. Yeah. And so don't get angry at people, when they do take your
When they
you say
report what you
literally.
say literally.
And he says, this is classic Fred Mitchell, right? You keep talking about a Freedom of Information Act. The problem I have is that the journalists in this country, and then he says, present company accepted.
Really?
The journalists in the
Right,
House of
in the
Assembly
room. Right, in the room. Who
Okay.
do the reporting? But anyway, let's continue.
are too literal. The reporters in this country, the journalists in this country are too literal.
What are you supposed
what
to
else are we
be?
supposed to be?
Right. That's such a confusing statement.
I'm confused. He says, quote, and so when I'm engaged in irony and sarcasm, they go running off the deep end about what I said
Well, you should expect that.
and what I don't believe and what I say. Don't be mistaking me for that.
but you it's insanity. You position yourself one way and now say that it's you're using irony and sarcasm. So if you use irony and sarcasm, what do you think they're gonna report on? Like, just make it make sense.
Yeah.
So if you don't want your messages to be misinterpreted, and if you don't want the media to go crazy about the things that you say, I would think you'd be responsible in what you say and making sure that you present exactly what you want to be reported.
Precisely. Exactly.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me too. And then he says, quote, clearly, he starts with clearly, the government's position is it supports the Freedom of Information Act. Now, that is not clear to any Bahamian that any administration, even the one across the floor asking him questions about it, support it. Because nobody has done anything of any substance to make the Freedom of Information Act
The pass. Yeah.
successful, workable, usable. And it's been around for a very long time. And the amendments, the revamped FOI bill was passed in 2017 under the Christie administration. It was revamped then. It's 2024,
Right.
almost 2025.
Yeah. But it's
So the revamp almost 10 years old.
yeah, it's just not a priority. I'm gonna be an interpretative communication specialist and say that there is minimal interest in it. It could possibly eventually in the future at some point pass, but there's like no real focus on it right
Not at
now.
all.
Since I have to interpret what you're saying.
Right.
So
yeah.
that's what I'm getting. Like,
That might be what it is.
Yeah, maybe eventually, but it's definitely like not. Is it in the blueprint?
I
if
think it's in the blueprint.
Yeah. So if
think
it's in the
it is.
blueprint, they have to do it.
Yeah, but it's crazy that again, another thing our politicians do. So they're sarcastic, they throw shade, and they also know that Mama raised a fool.
Well,
There's no question in their mind. There's no question in their mind that
yes, it
that the
depends.
people who voted for them
yeah,
was
they ain't paying attention. Let me not say that. Some of them aren't really paying attention to the issues of the day or what's going on.
Yeah.
Some people are, and then some people have silenced themselves because it seems like,
yeah.
So
in terms of education, since the text asked for education, the Freedom of Information Act and how it works in the United States of America, our neighbor, right? If you require some information that the government has, you can make a request for it. And the government doesn't have to say yes. But if they don't say yes, then you can take them to court
Okay.
and give your reasons as to why you
Want
think
the document.
this information is needed for public good.
Right.
And a judge or whomever says yay or nay eventually. And I think in a lot of cases, the side of information and freedom for that information wins, and not the government, right? They do it in cases with body camera footage. That's why we see so much of it out there. Journalists go to police for that stuff, and say we request this and give it to us, or we're gonna take you to court over it. And so I think that's very important. I think especially in this country where we have no idea what things are being done on our behalf to the government, heads of agreement. The journalists don't ever see those documents. They're always private. We don't know who giving away what and what deal this is. And a lot of now the procurement stuff, I mean, contracts are given out. We have no idea who they're given to. And if we find out later who it is, maybe, if something burned down or something, you know what I mean? Find out people ain't got insurance, and that kind of thing. So it's very important to transparency in the country,
Correct.
to the safety of the rule of law in the country. But apparently it's not that important.
Yeah, but that level of transparency changes the game
Absolutely.
in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Too. There, it gets in the way of certain aspects of, in my opinion, I want to make sure I clearly say that, in my opinion, why some people enter politics with $3 and leave politics with $3 million.
Yeah.
And so it now forces a different type of behavior, or it will be the impetus for change in how we do things, which is really necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
In our country.
Absolutely.
Right? It's necessary.
And a lot of these international bodies continue to mention it. They say, the Bahamas is lacking this, and this, and they mention freedom of information. Because clearly they know, unlike us citizens, that it's important. And clearly the government doesn't think that we know it's important, even though we talk about it all the time.
Was that like sarcasm and irony just now?
Yeah. I'm allowed to do that. Am I? I don't know. I
think as a talk show host, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm not a public official.
No.
I'm not.
That is so
official,
cute.
So I think I can do that.
Yeah.
We got some calls coming in. Let's hear what you have to say. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. So I'll say one or two things. The first thing, if you go back into our history, at the turn 40 years after emancipation, you will look at so much different institutions where it was just horrible for us. But one in particular I'd like to share with you guys that speaks to the Freedom of Information Act, and I'll show you the parallels. There was a system known as the truck and credit system. So what they would do to our forefathers is they would tell us we had to credit things from them, right? Like food, flour for your family. You'll go out to sea. When you get out to sea, you don't know, you go fishing for them. We bring in the sponge, we bring in the fishes. When we come back in, they don't tell us the value of those things, the market. And when we come back in, we will end up owing them more money than we credit, because we didn't know the value of the item. We didn't know who they were selling it to. We didn't know how the whole system works. Now, I point that out to show you the truck and credit system was so beneficial for the powers that be, because we didn't know. If you understand where I'm coming from, it was like, you look now, that's almost 100 and something years ago. And now, in this present time, again, we don't know. Now, they gave us this, it comes known as democracy, and now we're using it. And we're saying, like, we're going to vote. If it's an issue, you go and you tell them. But by no means anywhere. They have to tell us anything, and then we have to go through a process to get the information by going to court and spending money and going to trial. And then these same people who could be presiding over the case, if they deny you, you have to appeal, and then you appeal to the Privy Council, and then it's another, say it takes you 10 years to get a piece of legislation or to get a piece of information, and then when you look at it, some other issue you need to know about arise, right? So I say all of that to say that the problem we have is completely systemic. So when we have to now advocate for a completely new system. We have to advocate for, people have to speak out and look at the international bodies that are following us down in different directions, whether we want to go or not, whether these politicians at the highest levels are being bullied into directions, threatened, pushed in that way, and they are just falling down flat because fear of the ramifications. And I believe it's, again, a result of international bodies, in particular our loving neighbors, America, and how we must follow their agenda, or they blacklist us, or they force us into a direction, and we don't know, from our independence, whether or not we are making the decisions for our self-determination based on the fact that these countries continue to forcefully bully us in directions, and the politicians who are being educated by them, who are friends with them, put up no fight, and this whole process continues to go over and over and over. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Let's take this next call coming in. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hey, good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
And what's the lady name again?
Tukwesa.
Mm-hmm. Yes, good morning. Hey, that guy made a lot of interesting points, but I agree with him on a lot of the stuff, right? But for 50 almost 1 years now, right? And we've been lied to us being a sovereign nation, right? Because at the end of the day, right, the Bahamas still is not a sovereign nation in my view, because we still have a governor general sitting on top of this country representing our next nation. So to keep trying to convince Bahamian people that we are independent is ludicrous. And this is also why we could never have a Freedom of Information Act, because we think we're free and we believe free. So there's a lot of things going on in this country that it just goes against the Bahamians in particular, right? Because there's so much things happening in this country that we are not a part of, but foreigners could come today and be a part of it, right? But when it comes back to Fred Mitchell and the FLM and the PLP, these people, in my view, are not interested in transparency of no kind, absolutely no kind, because only when there's an election looming, right, they have conversations about immigration, Freedom of Information Act, and marijuana. Anytime those topics comes up, you could put your head on the chopping block. There's a election looming somewhere, right? But after it happens, we go right back to the same situation of trying to keep the Bahamian people under a dark cloud of deception, right? Because if we had real men in our parliament, what really was interested in making this country better for their generations, there was no way after 50-odd years we still fiddling our thumbs whether we should have a Freedom of Information Act or not. And when the act is so important to keeping stability and transparency in a developing nation, man. You know? So I don't don't agree with nothing with what these guys can say because they're not really interested in growing this country. They are interested, in my view, growing their pockets, and that's it. Guys, have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You too.
I was sent the Freedom of Information Act by one of our good ministers to read the parts that are exempt from disclosure eventually. But I mean, fine, that makes sense, that some things will be protected from disclosure, and that's reasonable. All I'm saying is right now, there's nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
There's nada.
It's just
The
not a
commissioner
priority.
and the commission don't really. I mean, they're still putting together how and what we'll be able to start with. So they're going to start with a few ministries that we're going to be able to ask for information from, and that was. They said that. Oh, help me, going on 2 years now. Maybe that's and there hasn't been like workshops for the media, which there should be eventually. So we understand the process and understand how to work it, and even the general public, because it's not just that the media will be able to access these things. It's anybody, right?
Yeah.
Because it'll be a public right to ask for this kind of information.
Yeah. In the article, they continue on saying that Prime Minister Davis said that the Freedom of Information Act, though a campaign promise, is not a pressing issue for the government at this time. And Mitchell is saying that it's simply a matter of priorities. So what will be great to know is what are the priorities, right? Like what are the things that are priorities that will be worked on this year or next year? I mean, there's a blueprint. The reason you have a blueprint is to follow it. And so help us follow along by indicating, what the priorities are and what is happening, what's being done, what's left to be done, so that if it is going to be worked on or if there is progress on it, we are aware of what's happening. And I believe that would also take some pressure off both ends, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Let's take this next call before we have to go to a break. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Morning, Chester.
Good morning.
And good morning, DeQuesta.
Good morning.
Wouldn't it be nice, Chester and DeQuesta, if some of these politicians would be up in arms in the news when the press put question to them? Wouldn't it be nice if some of them go out there and have some children to help build this station?
What?
You ain't think that'd be nice, man?
What?
Some of them always complaining, we ain't got enough wakers, we ain't got enough that. But they ain't nothing to help.
And you sure they ain't got children?
Huh?
You sure they ain't enough children?
Some of them got children.
Where they had them, well, who they had them for? But anyway, listen, that ain't what I really called for today, because like the previous caller said, 50 years and one thing in the 51 years, I so sick of this insanity of the Bahamian people. But I am calling. I attend dialysis. Everybody around here doesn't know that now. And for 6+ years, I have been watching a particular nurse. She is there, and all the time she's on her job. The spirit of camaraderie with her colleagues is very excellent. Her attention, knowledge of patients, and her craft, excellent. And I've been watching her for many years. But this morning, I'm calling to congratulate her. She's a very young nurse, and she has been promoted in her young age to sister. Her name is Sister Maycock.
All right.
At dialysis.
Okay.
A beautiful nurse, man. If the hospital had 5 more nurses like her, the hospital would have been a better place. And I really am calling because all the sad news all the time.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to call them with the good news.
Absolutely.
And Sister Maycock, congratulations, coming from one of your most complaining patients, Marvin Johnson. Congratulations, darling. Okay, y'all. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
All right.
Thanks for that. Always a good report.
Yeah. And I love how he's dressed young. It's great. Congratulations, Sister Maycock.
Congratulations, Sister Maycock.
Yeah.
You're making people feel good.
Okay.
And, dialysis is a rough thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some people in healthcare really don't care how you feel.
Yeah.
They're bringing their misery straight to you.
Correct. And that's why I'm going to just tell you to, like, when Marvin is making noise and when he is acting up, don't take him on.
Yeah.
Right, Marvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants your gentleness.
Yeah.
Since you're such an amazing nurse. But we celebrate you this morning.
Absolutely. Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, Chester and DeQuesta. How are you?
Good
How
morning.
are you?
Well, and you?
I'm doing excellent. Just wanted to make a comment on the state of our nation. I'm not trying to get off very and thing this morning, but Chester, what's our national debt?
A national debt?
Yeah, I know you have an idea.
I think it's... I think
9 billion would it be?
I think it's somewhere around 11.
11.
I think so.
Correction. Yes, it is $11 billion. Now, my observation on that is while we've progressed from some horse and buggy town, sleepy village in the early 20s and 30s, 20s, 30s, it's 2024. And unfortunately, for $11 billion spent as a country over successive years, obviously I'm not talking about any particular period, we have very few things that reflect that enormous amount of money that governments spend on behalf of the people. And if we audit what we're spending our money on as our personal finances, we look at it and we see $300 million for this every fiscal year to this ministry, and 300, 400, and millions of dollars. And when we look at it, what is it being spent on? What is the net result? What's the product?
Mm-hmm.
We take one, for example. Our country celebrated 50 years of independence, whatever you want to call it. The public transportation system has been the exact same system. Not even a minute improvement in almost 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now go back to the budget and look at the money we have spent in 50 years in that one ministry, and ask yourself, what did we get for it to maintain the exact same system that we've been using for 50 years? So I end all this to say I'm not being critical of anything other than saying, as Bahamians, we need to start demanding results for money spent. This is where the nation has to progress. It's us. I don't lay the blame no more at the feet of the politicians, because we still applaud them for doing the same thing. We'll hear everyone come on the radio and television and the news, and the Minister of Safety Transportation, and we so elated that they have done nothing to improve the infrastructure, the nation, the things of which we entrust them to make progress. Because if we're not desirous of them making progress, why do we even have to elect anyone different? Why don't we just let the public servants run the department if improvement is not the outcome that we desire? So I close by saying, I think this Bahamas is a great place. I think we've achieved much. But I think we've grossly mismanaged the amount of money we've spent in developing this nation, and we have to become a little more accountable of the results we expect for money spent. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Appreciate that. On that note, he's absolutely right. So let's go to break.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, caller. So we'll take a break, and Morning Blend will be back in just a moment.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
RBC,
It's a bit for all of you.
a Are you buying a home, renovating, or exploring mortgage options? With cash back and up to 90% financing, we'll find the perfect mortgage for you. Pre-qualify in just 60 seconds and get connected with a mortgage specialist today. Visit rbc.com/mortgages/all-of-you. RBC. Conditions apply.
This is your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC, a bank for all of you. Let's see where these traffic hotspots are today. Of course, Malabutla Highway, it is moving slightly in some spots, but the traffic is backed up all the way to Fire Trail Road now. Traffic on Gladstone Road backed up about halfway, just before Aquinas. You'll start to slow down before you reach the heavy traffic closer to Nassau Gas and Tank. And on Saunders Beach, traffic looking fine there for now, but tightens up as you get past the roundabout there heading east. Traffic downtown, not too bad yet. So if you're in that area and you're leaving home right now, you better get out very quickly. Traffic on the Eastern Road, not so bad. A little tight when you pass Fox Hill Road heading west, and then it loosens up just before Village Road. Not many other spots to talk about. Traffic building up on Blue Hill Road. It is starting to back up there on the Carmichael intersection with Blue Hill Road, and it does tighten up over the hill as you get up the hill there. So if you use that route, you want to get out now. Those are your busy spots at the moment. That's your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you. And now at 7:41, it's time for your morning blend weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Your general situation: a broad Atlantic high pressure system continues to produce moderate to strong winds as it dominates the weather across the Bahamas, while a low level trough in the Great Bahama Bank and along the Old Bahama Channel is producing unsettled weather over the western, central, and southeast Bahamas. Sea swells continue along the northeast and east coastlines. Beachgoers should be alert due to the high risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed shores and northeast and easterly beaches. There is the risk of overtopping waves and saltwater inundation along seawalls and coastal roads. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny, breezy, and warm with isolated showers. Fair to partly cloudy and breezy with isolated showers tonight. Small craft advisory continues. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, becoming 10 to 15 knots tonight. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore, building 5 to 7 feet over open waters and along Atlantic exposures in northeast and easterly swells. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, warm and windy with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Heavy to severe at times in the Great Bahama Bank and along the Old Bahama Channel, becoming partly cloudy, warm and breezy with isolated showers tonight. Small craft advisory is in effect for the Central Bahamas, and small craft should not venture far from the port in the southeast Bahamas. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots in the Central Bahamas, increasing 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore in the Central Bahamas and 5 to 7 feet near shore in the southeast Bahamas, building 6 to 8 feet over open waters and along Atlantic exposures in the northeast and easterly swells. Your daytime high temperature today, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius. Your overnight low temperature, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. In your extended forecast, the strong high pressure will continue to dominate the weather across the northwestern islands. Meanwhile, troughing will trigger unsettled weather in the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds will decrease on Wednesday, and as a result, marine conditions will begin to improve around the country. So we'll have your outlook for Wednesday and Thursday in the 8 o'clock hour. That's your weather check. It's brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Easy Car Sales has done it again. First there was BYD, then Jack, now Radar. Pickup trucks by Geely are joining the all-electric family. With 8 years of experience and 3 quality brands to choose from, there's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales, home of the electric vehicle. Visit easy242.com to see all the many options for ditching the pump and driving electric.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas. This year, we plan on shattering that record. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16-island destination.
No matter who you are or what you do, we all have a part to play in our tourism industry.
This is our country.
These are our islands.
This is our home.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Are you ready for the best of the best? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group up for sound promotion, and Guardian Radio presents the best of the best Rake and Script Explosion Concert. Mark your calendars for May 11th as Super Club Breezes grounds ignite with Bahamian talent featuring KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, The Brylanders, Avi, Elon Moxie, and Shine 242.
Right now I feel like whining.
Join the Falcons, Iron Storm, Sylvie Pierre, Johnny Cake, Mama D, Nishi LS, Pat Ramis, Stevie S, and Shad Colley and the VIPs for an electrifying night of music and culture. Tickets are flying, so grab yours now. Available online at BahamasEtickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road. This is the event of the year. The best of the best Rake and Scrape Explosion at Breezes Resorts. Gates open at 6 p.m. Don't miss out on the Bahamian magic.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Make Mother's Day one to remember with a delightful Mother's Day brunch valued at $300 courtesy of Haagen-Dazs and Fun Foods Wholesale. It's simple. Just head over to Lickety Split or Super Value locations and purchase a pint of your favorite Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99. After purchasing, don't forget to write your full name and number on the back of your receipt and drop it into any entry box at the store. You're now in the running for our grand prize drawing, taking place on May 10th. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Happy Mother's Day from Haagen-Dazs. Promotion ends May 8th.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
You hear what Boss Man was saying in the back there just now? About what? The luncheon? Why you always worried about food? No, about how we gotta pay a little more for national insurance. Mildred, you talking fool. I can't afford to pay that. And you're always crying, poor mouth. Ain't gonna be much. Boss still gotta pay. 1st of July, 2024. I think that criminal benefit is what did help my boy Tony through the pandemic. That same unemployment benefit. And guess what? What? Susan, I think she'd get a pregnancy benefit, eh? You mean maternity benefit, eh? So now, we gotta do our part to make sure we get our pension. All right.
For more information, visit nipratencrease.com.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Sitting on my porch, drinking my switcher, and I pull this great big fancy car. Plaster full of sticker from the bumper to the hood. The driver was a former movie star. Next thing I know, I was watching a show. The circus nearly knocked me off my chair. My little boy say, Pa, I never see that kind of car. How come them rich white people stop in here? I say, boy, they coming out the woodwork just like when everybody catching politics like
Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, along with DeQuesta Dean, and we're still discussing what's in the news. And let me read some of these text messages before we run out of time. This person says, I'm a Laker fan. Denver is just a better team. Okay. This person says, good morning. The politicians must be laughing at us. We have some jokey citizens in a jokey town. We are their boss, and they telling us what to do. Bohemians, let's take back the power, please. All right. This person says, good morning. If your co-hosts go to a relay event, you'll never miss another one. It's that exciting. I am 59. As long as I have health, I wouldn't miss it. All right. So they also say, so yes, I agree with the last caller. We're not truly independent. Only before an election, the powers to be start talking about things that Bahamians are concerned about. But as soon as the election is over, everything goes back to the norm. This brings up the question, if you have voted for at least 4 years, for at least 40 years, don't you think it's time to give some other party a chance? What will it take for you to realize nothing is going to change with the two big parties that seem to be 6 of one and half dozen of the other? All right. This Person says, good morning. Your last caller was somewhat correct, except he didn't call out the real culprits, which are the permanent secretaries who oversee overspending year after year and are not held accountable. Interesting. But in some cases, who they getting direction from? I mean, I know some permanent secretaries will just outright tell ministers, go take a walk.
I understand that they do have
trying
the
to
power.
ask me for this, but
Yeah.
So yeah. I will text her who says no need to read this on air. I will send you the secret. I'll text you the secret. But that person saying that we aren't truly independent and we need to take back the power. Which text message was that? Politicians be laughing that we need to take back the power, right? There's this article. See if I can find it very quick. About tourism in the Canary Islands that someone posted, and I saved the link so I didn't lose it because it's exactly what we do, but we don't do.
Okay.
So the article headline is "My Misery, Your Paradise."
Wow. That's a catchy one.
The problem with tourism in the Canary Islands.
Wow.
But it's deeper than just tourism, right? It starts, a wave of demonstrations have swept the Canary Islands as locals protested against a tourism model they say has plundered the environment. Sound familiar? Priced them out of housing. And forced them into precarious work. The 7 main Canary Islands are home to 2.2 million people. That was a mind blow. I didn't know they had so many people there. And welcome almost 14 million international visitors in 2023, which was up 13% from the previous year. So it says the protests were not aimed at individual tourists, activists say, but at the governments that have created a system that skews so much in favor of investors at the expense of local communities. Sound eerily familiar?
Very familiar.
The tourism industry accounts for 35% of the gross domestic product in the Canary Islands, and local residents who spoke to Sky News agree the islands can't survive without tourism. Okay, fair. But they are also questioning whether local communities and the environment can survive if things stay the way they are. So, article says, so what's the problem? Tourism is a cash cow, but not for locals.
Wow.
Hello. If you're looking for what's behind the wave of protests, you need to look back decades. Sharon Blackhouse tells Sky News, says along with her Canarian husband, she owns Geo Tenerife, which runs science field trips and training camps in the Canary Islands and conducts research into sustainable tourism. Tourism model in the Canary Islands hasn't been updated since before the tourism boom in the 80s when the islands were trying desperately to attract investment. Okay, fair. The answer back then was a model that was incredibly generous to investors. In the 80s, it was incredibly generous to investors who only pay 4% tax and can send the profits earned in the Canary Islands back to the firm's home country, Ms. Backhouse explains. But the model hasn't changed. That's created a situation where more and more of these giant all-inclusive resort hotels are being built, and the proceeds of the incredible cash cow aren't shared equitably with the local population. And the rest of the article will go on and will sound very familiar to you if you are Bahamian. And obviously for us, tourism, again, same thing.
Yeah.
We rely on tourism.
Major, right.
It's our major industry. But you'll hear people say over and over again, we are priced out of starting businesses. We priced out of owning homes. We're priced because we've the real estate industry has attracted foreigners from here, there, and everywhere, and you can see it. We've written about it. Our luxury real estate prices are up and above, and sales are better than
Booming.
many places across the world, and have grown faster than other places across the world. And that, so for Bahamians, real estate prices are driven by that market. So even the littlest, tiniest little property here and there is going to go up. That's just the nature of the market, right?
That's what the reality is.
Yeah.
And home ownership is out of reach for.
Right. But that it doesn't have to be that way. But nobody's done anything to protect Bahamians from this,
I think too, Chester, that we often sit down and wait for people or others to be our rescue. And nothing happens. And it's easy to become jaded because it's been so many years of the same crap over and over and over again. And you're like, oh, this is a huge elephant and there's nothing that you can really do because it's so bad. And just trying to dig out of a tunnel takes so much effort. When it's so bad, it takes so much effort. And so it may seem better to just, drift into a routine living and don't worry about it. But we do need people, everyone, who is willing to come together and make the demands of the governments, whoever they may be, of the changes that are necessary.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we'll crash.
Yep. It's time for the news, and we'll be back in the 8 o'clock hour with Morning Blend. Stay with us.
Everybody catching politics like joy, chasing after sweetness just like lie. All that means 5 more years gone by. While this first one was laying his potential in my lap, I pulled this white Mercedes Benz, different kind of sticker on a different kind of car, but inside was the same kind of man. My front step became a battlefield, each one proposed a different deal. I don't believe they want my vote so bad. The only way to call a truce was to let my pocket hound dog loose and run this whole complexion of my yard. They coming out the woodwork just like wood. Everybody catching politics like joy, chasing after sweetness just like lie. All that means is 5 more years gone by. They coming out the woodwork just like wood. Everybody catching politics like joy, chasing after sweetness just like lie. All that means is 5 more years gone by. They coming, my brothers and sisters.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And now at 8:25, it's time for Your final look at weather for this morning. That's brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Your general situation abroad, Atlantic high-pressure system continues to produce moderate to strong winds as it dominates the weather across the Bahamas, while a low-level trough in the Great Bahama Bank and along the Old Bahama Channel is producing unsettled weather over the western, central, and southeast Bahamas. Sea swells continue along the northeast and east coastlines. Beachgoers should be alert due to the high risk of rip currents along Atlantic-exposed shores and northeast and easterly beaches. There is the risk of overtopping waves and saltwater inundation along sea walls and coastal roads. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny, breezy, and warm with isolated showers. Fair to partly cloudy and breezy with isolated showers tonight. Small craft advisory continues. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, becoming 10 to 15 knots tonight. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore, building 5 to 7 feet over open waters and along Atlantic exposures in northeast and easterly swells. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, warm and windy, with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, heavy to severe at times, in the Great Bahama Bank and along the Old Bahama Channel, becoming partly cloudy, warm and breezy with isolated showers tonight. Small craft advisory is in effect for the central Bahamas, and small craft should not venture far from the port in the southeast Bahamas. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots in the central Bahamas, increasing 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore in the central Bahamas and 5 to 7 feet near shore in the southeast Bahamas, building 6 to 8 feet over open waters and along Atlantic exposures in the northeast and easterly swells. Your daytime high temperature today, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius. Your overnight low temperature, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. In your extended forecast, the strong high pressure will continue to dominate the weather across the northwestern islands. Meanwhile, troughing will trigger unsettled weather in the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds will decrease on Wednesday, and as a result, marine conditions will begin to improve around the country. Your forecast for Wednesday, weather partly sunny and breezy with isolated showers in the northwest Bahamas, and partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds southeast to east at 15 to 20 knots over all areas, becoming east at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas by the afternoon. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore, building 8 feet along Atlantic exposures. Your outlook for Thursday, weather partly sunny and hot with isolated showers in the northwest Bahamas, and partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas, increasing 15 to 20 knots in the central and southeast Bahamas, falling 10 to 15 knots by the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwest islands and 4 to 6 feet near shore in the central and southeast Bahamas. Seas will build higher over open waters and Atlantic exposures. That was your weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. Time again for your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC, a bank for all of you. Somalia Highway still packed up with traffic extending past Fire Trail Road now. And the traffic on Fire Trail Road eastbound built up past Epic Battery. So you're going to want to exercise some patience there. Traffic on Gladstone Road not as bad as it could be and not as bad as most mornings. It is flowing just before the hill. But when you get to the hill, there's a bit of a delay. Traffic on Saunders Beach, not looking so bad right now at this hour. And traffic is flowing along West Bay Street there. does get a little tight after Nassau Street, but the traffic on Bay Street doesn't look too imposing. On the Eastern Road, traffic still built up, but flowing as you get toward Village Road. But it is very tight after Fox Hill Road for a bit. And is extended past Fox Hill Road on the Eastern Road, but not as bad as a lot of mornings. Traffic on Soldier Road as you head to the Village Road and Wolf Road and Bernard Road intersections pretty bad. Bernard Road not looking bad for you this morning. Not too bad, though there is some traffic just before you get to the intersection with Village Road. Lots of traffic on Soldier Road and on Robinson Road. At Blue Hill Road and Carmichael Road, traffic is built up. It's you're gonna encounter some slow-moving traffic as you pass Fire Trail Road, and it is thick as you get to the intersection with Blue Hill Road. Of course, the hill there in Blue Hill Road is tight with traffic as well. Those are your traffic hot spots on your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we can sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Here's to the go-getters, the early risers, and the late-night dreamers. You, the visionaries, painting futures in your mind, in your studio, your office, your sacred space. Here's to the adventurers, explorers of every realm. To you, the innovators, turning the cogs of progress. In a world where connection is a lifeline, a pathway to possibilities. Alive is the perfect connection for everyone, every lifestyle, every day.
Visit BeAlive.com today.
This is the National Youth Guard program designed to train young people to help the Bahama Islands in times of disaster.
I decided to join to better serve my country as well as to better myself.
We train to help in search and rescue,
electrical, plumbing, and carpentry.
And things that they can actually expand on in their careers.
Young people who join the Youth Guard program discover a sense of purpose and a sense of patriotism.
To learn more and apply, visit nyg.bahamas.gov.bs.
At Simplified Lending, we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. Personal, business, medical. You apply, we'll reply in as little as 24 hours. Call us today at 603-1730 or stop by Simplified Lending in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive. Simplified Lending for simplified living.
Simplified Lending for simplified living. Simplified Lending for simplified living.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
If I could live my life far into yesterday, I'll talk with the great Pompey and Black Dick too. Oh, I'll chat with the Milo Butler and the great C.R. Walker, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. I'll say, how do you do? Yeah.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan, who's on the vacay. And I'm here with DeQuesta Dean. And I don't know, I'm not sure what happened. We were supposed to have apparently some World Relays conversation, but maybe they run off.
Yeah, they'll come another day. They'll come another day.
There ain't many days left.
Yeah, maybe they'll come another day. Yeah. Did we send happy birthday greetings out
We
the door?
did not. Thank you for reminding me again. I am so sorry, Dwight. Happy belated birthday. His birthday was on the weekend.
Yes.
And we wish you so many more.
Yeah.
And Chester apologizes profusely for not yesterday extolling your greatness on the radio.
Yes, and I hope you're off somewhere, really enjoying your birthday, not listening to us this morning.
Yeah.
But having a grand time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Come back safe. The people need you.
Yeah, we need you.
So, this one text message came in during the break. Chester, you are so right with the article. Seems in the Bahamas, real estate high, dining, all of the nice restaurants are in the hotel, 12% VAT, 10% gratuity, food costs high. Wow, you just said that.
Yeah, we were we were literally talking about that on the break.
Wow.
Yeah.
This person says, my beloved big brother Chester, a.k.a. Electric Car Chester, let the lovely DeQuesta and the public know I strongly believe the Bahamas will indeed experience a collapse of some sort. What I have observed over the last 15 years, the ship seems to be headed in that direction and will stay on that course as long as folks keep voting F&M and PLP.
We just talked about that too.
Yep. They say, I don't think the COI will make a difference. The Bahamas needs some fourth, fifth, and even sixth party systems to choose from, like some first world developed nations. The Bahamas must eliminate the two-party system. But in the meantime, I am minded to move to some other nation so I can be able to reach back and rescue my fellow Bahamians in the future.
That's deep.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. Pretty deep.
Some people think that way, though. Some people think that they need to go somewhere else, make something of themselves, because they can't do it here.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, the truth is, in many respects, you can't do it here.
Yeah.
Right? In many, many respects, you can't do it here. But interesting that both of the texts touched on things that we were talking about. But I think you have some more messages.
Yeah. This person would like the traffic police station to position themselves at the entrance near Montague Ramp. They say it's an absolute nightmare where drivers have made a merge road and a free-for-all.
Wow.
I mean, one thing our drivers could do is do what ain't supposed to be happening on the road.
Right.
And I don't tell the police on the radio plenty times. You want to make some money? Come see what they be doing at the entrance to Gardner's #1 past the East Street roundabout.
Bar 20.
The craziness they be doing.
Yes. Be right there.
You could make plenty of money just giving out tickets right there.
Yeah.
right there. They pulling into the highway on the wrong side of the street.
But just to like, what bothers me about that, we keep talking about progress and moving on, right? What other countries are we going to where the police are in the street directing traffic? Like we are some of the most discourteous drivers ever, right? And we have to learn to follow the traffic rules, to be courteous to other drivers. Everyone is trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if you leave home late, that you have made that an emergency for yourself.
Yeah.
And in doing that now, you're putting all sorts of other people's lives at risk because you want to engage in risky driving behaviors. But we have to move past a lot of these things and create the systems and structures that will help the smooth flow of traffic without having to depend so heavily on police presence. Like, who sits down and thinks about the flow of the roads, traffic flow, all that sort of stuff when we're creating, like, putting a traffic light here or a roundabout here or whatever? Who is really looking at how this is going to actually work? Because that's a lot of strain on the police to have to be out there directing traffic when we should have a traffic movement system that allows, and courteous drivers that allows the traffic to just move.
Yeah, but they can find a way, man. I was behind a car yesterday that on the highway encountered lots of traffic, and the traffic was it looked thick, but it was moving. And he was about to go over the median.
Where I gotta go?
Go through the median. There's like a crosswalk thing. He was about to drive through the crosswalk. He's considering it. Because he stopped right in front of it, and then he went.
Where you have to go?
I was like, bro, you ain't gonna find no other route wherever you're going that's gonna have less traffic.
I'd be sitting in my car wondering, where does this person have to go? That is so important that they're willing to risk their lives and every other driver's life that they come into contact with. People are insane.
Let me give you a hint. I don't like traffic. Nobody likes traffic. But I tried to beat my sister-in-law to our house, right? By ducking through this corner and turning through that corner and going this way and that way. And she just stayed in traffic all the way direct. Right. She was there before me.
Correct.
She was there before me.
Sometimes that happens.
I learned. I stay in traffic now. Because it looks long, but it's moving, right?
Yeah, it's moving. As long as it's moving, right.
Yeah, unless there's an accident or something, it'll move.
Correct.
Stay in traffic.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Don't dip and duck and dive.
Yeah, and that's what they do so much, dipping and dive, all in and out of traffic. You in one lane, swish the next lane, swish the next lane. Where do you have to go?
Get nowhere.
It's insane.
Anyway, I'm sometimes guilty of some of these things. But, not the crazy stuff. I don't do that.
I love your honesty.
So let's take these calls. We got some calls coming in. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning to you, Chester. Good morning to you, the Questor.
Good morning.
Yeah, just let me address a couple of your points. I know I hear people talking all the time about we need a new party. The problem is not party. The problem we have is leadership. Essentially, what we have had, at least for the 2+ decades I've been home, is we have had leadership cemented in the past and deniers of the future. If you look for the fact that we are now 23 years into the 21st century, still suffering from rudimentary ideas of the 20th century for technology and otherwise. That's, for instance, the greatest news event ever happened was the able for you to the information cards for people coming into the country to be digitized. But do you know I met with Atlanta's immigration, customs, and Ministry of Tourism in 2003 and again in 2005 or 6. Mr. Obadiah Wilscombe downtown by that first corner when you make the right, when you hit Bay Street from the thing, and they was doing construction and everything then. I met with them and we discussed digitizing this whole concept when I first came home, and nothing happened at all. Nothing happened. I mean, the exact same form that we celebrated in Parliament yesterday about being able to fill out a form online. That's 20 years ago that I did a presentation there. I still have the presentation 20 years ago. And so when you begin to talk with different things, and this brings to the next thing, so it comes to leadership. And so we have not had the leadership we have needed for the 21st century. so far. So it isn't a party. It's leadership who can take us where we need to be. And so when you talk about freedom of information, this brings to the same subject, because I was one of those people for 2 decades also that have been arguing for this. You can have no freedom of information in the Bahamas without technology. Okay, what you're going to do, pull the files and go manually look for this and that over cross of millions and millions of files. So this whole concept of freedom of information, going back to 2004 again, when we first had the data protection laws and all these other different things. You know, like I said, I think you may have heard me. I challenge anyone fraternity to show me a digital law in the Bahamas. Not a law that references digital, a law that addresses digital. There is none in the Bahamas. No data protection law, none of those things. We believe calling something out of its name makes it that thing we call it. We do not have any. Period. This is why we can't have any digital economies. There's about 30 laws that must be created or adjusted for us to have what is called a true digital economy. You know, this concept that you hear people talk about all the time, directly or indirectly, whether they know what it is or not, where it's digitization, digitalization, datification, digital transformation, and now these things, the tokenization, all these things they talk about. We're good at beating our mouth. We don't have leadership yet. It's coming, but we don't have it yet. So this freedom of information thing, it's garbage. Do you know that millions of files of copies of papers has been mold and mildew across all of the departments, that even what's the people who keep records and stuff, they won't even go in there because of the threat to health. Do you know in Grand Bahama, files and files and files was damaged in a hurricane, so in Abaco? Take for an instant, when the students in Abaco, we have an education system where when Dorian hit, they did not know which students are there, and today we don't even know which students are missing because they were calling teachers to get who survived. Can you give us a list of students so we can know which students was in your class and this and this? This is the Ministry of Education. This is 4-5 years ago. Okay? So we need a complete examination of where we are, where we need to be, whatever. You talk about the tourism model. Exact same thing. The Prime Minister gave a speech that covered on the front page talking about walls of Jericho that was torn down 2 decades ago. And what I mean by that, the banking laws and the financial things, and we got to get rid of these financial families that are holding us up. Nothing stops the government of the Bahamas to give Bahamians access to fintech. In fact, it's available to most Bahamians. They just have not been taught because nobody speaks the language. And that's the language of the 21st century. The Gen Z, we have a generation, 2 generations so far has been bought digital natives. Those Gen Z from 1996 to 2010, we call them digital. They're all digital natives, and from 2011 on is the next gen. Okay. But then the millennials are the ones who have been naturalized. But pre-1980, most of them are legal aliens in the digital world.
I see.
So the problem we have is that we're not having it in context, and this is why. Let me go back to something political. It amazes me that Hugh Alexander Minnis guided over one of the greatest transition periods in history of the world that he was totally unaware of. And I put it to him, and that he wants to come back to take us back to the past, that he ignored, separated, and did whatever he can in his realm of reality that is basically literally set 5 years due to COVID. You know, and leadership is tested. You know, a salesman, a sailor isn't tested by an anchored ship. You know, it's tested by the ship on the water, and he has failed us in that respect. And this current administration, if you read their blueprint for change, it's a digital document. But again, it's good at copy and paste. Being able to understand what is necessary for the Bahamas in the 21st century. The article you read about in the Canary Islands, we can overcome that. I think in your papers yesterday, Chester, you had where the people said that the hotels are complaining about bed and breakfast and these other models. Mm-hmm. That's because the tourism models are shifting. But we're trying to, we have anchored ourselves here. What do you mean the tides, our anchors are too short now and tide is rising and the boat is being pulled down under the water? Because Bahamians are being excluded because they do not have leadership to achieve that. And I'll end in saying this. the leadership you're seeking is here in 2026 or sooner. And I believe that Michael Pintard is that leadership that understands we are not doing it. It isn't a leader. A leader leads people. A leader attracts other leaders to take us into this new dispensation. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's try to take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Good morning, caller. You there? All right. Thanks for calling. Call back. Sorry, we took a little while there. This person text message says, great show as usual, unless you want Prince Charles Drive, 8 a.m. in the morning. Huh?
Okay. Yeah, 8 a.m. is
a lot of traffic.
Yeah. 8 a.m. is a lot of traffic coming in.
All right. This person says, I'm sorry, but Alfred says can't be PM. Well, who's talking about Alfred says being PM? Anyway. It said, do you know what's scary? The young Turk in the PLP, the one who is supposed to be the future, just said last week, this is the new tourism model. What was he talking about? The cruise industry buying up beach front property for the exclusive use of masses of tourists. Downtown tourists and Bahamians can use the Royal Beach Club if there's enough space.
Yeah, because it has limited capacity.
Downtown Nassau appears to be a start. They are currently in negotiations with the government to buy up property all through the islands to exclusion of Bahamians. The MPs, including the New Turk, will tell Bahamians year after year that we can only come as far as the water's edge. You Bahamian, and they say, quote, for some reason, you Bahamian are not allowed to set foot on sandy beaches in your own country. Now they're eyeing Goodman's Bay. Only God knows what they're trying to negotiate. Boy, feel your pain.
Yeah.
They also need to police that downtown stretch of Blue Hill Road heading north into Bay Street. Blue Hill.
That's probably where you're coming down the hill, right?
Coming down the hill.
Is that where the Dexter means?
The people in the right lane who are supposed to go straight will push you off the road trying to get into the left lane. Oh, right by Dunkin' Donuts.
The traffic flow, yeah,
by Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, people will, they do foolishness.
Especially when there's a lot of traffic.
I guess the big trucks in some instances have to.
For the turn, but I don't think that's...
Buses, though. Buses and bus drivers.
People generally.
Yeah. This person says, just a week ago, there were 2 cars in each lane coming off Shirley Street, and the car in the right lane still tried to push into the left lane. This is ridiculous. Oh, yeah.
But usually you wouldn't take such a chance around there because that's a hot spot for where the police officers
but not
would
on
be.
The hill, though.
Right on the left there, when you're making that turn by Dunkin' Donuts. They used to be there almost every day, but I haven't seen them as much recently.
Is this our caller again? Let's try.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
You really think now Dwight ain't listening? You really believe?
He ain't listening.
We open. Our fingers crossed that he's not.
Boy, I think he'll be uncomfortable if he's not listening, especially the Morning Blend. But I think we need to re-identify some of the things that we call that really doesn't exist. We celebrate something that we call independence. I've been trying to figure out what that is, and I haven't come up with it yet because as far as I could see, the rich people, the oligarchs, they celebrate, in fact, they don't celebrate it, but they seem to celebrate the wealth of this country more than those who think that they're independent from some king who, and as a king, you're supposed to be right next to God, so you should never get sick. But that's another story. And we also celebrate this thing called majority rule. When the decision to make the rulership was done by just 2 people, that coalition. So we should really be celebrating things as they are. Coalition rule from Jump Street. But let me give some advice to young people, particularly black young Bahamians. Most of the ideas, the creative ideas, come from persons who are suffering under certain conditions because they can develop something that would do better. So if you have an idea, and a very good one, and you patent it first, then you want to take it, don't take it to a local around here who's going to steal it from you. Like I've had many ideas stolen from me. You could go all the way back to development days. But like Pamela Harris right now, she's celebrating black people in Atlanta. Find a company in Atlanta that could appreciate what you're doing, and you could go to a trade show in China and develop your product. But don't try to find somebody here locally. to present your idea to, particularly if you haven't patented yet, because it would be taken from you. Another good idea that a son of mine, well, I have many sons I adopted, but this one, he's special like all. And his girlfriend, who's, foreign, she's a U.S. citizen, he's Bahamian. Do you know that they have decided that he would marry her just for the convenience, for as long as the marriage lasts, but upon marrying her, he now qualifies to a $500,000 loan from a U.S. bank because he's now a U.S. citizen. You could not get that here locally. So you have to be thinking the way the people who are coming here, you probably have to leave here to find a better life. Because it doesn't look like the locals, the leaders, can even, they'd have to rob from Peter to pay Paul. How are they going to ever listen to you? And we're still electing these people who want to die in office. So you're finished, right? So maybe you can consider those thoughts, young people. Have a good idea, present it internationally. Patent it first. And if you want to find a girl in the United States and you're young, marry her, put that money to use when you get it, and you'd be surprised what you could do when you come back here with it, because that's what people do. They come back here. Then you'll be more inviting by these buffoons because you got money.
Sad state of affairs.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's the way people feel. People feel.
A lot of Bahamians are also not just coming home and they leave to go to college and get used to a certain type of life, not just like opportunities, but simple quality of life. There's so many different things that you can do. And for me, it's a double-edged sword because some of the modern conveniences, I believe, are contributing to some of the health issues that we are experiencing. Nevertheless, you could pre-order your grocery, go and pick it up, right? You could pay with a digital credit card. Like, there are so many conveniences.
Things work.
It just literally works.
Yeah.
Right? That it makes it difficult even for when they come home to visit now that you're back in some archaic society that's not, really moved on. So that's very interesting. Not just opportunities for investment, but quality of life and modern conveniences and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
This person's talking to C. Allen. We do have data protection law. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was talking about there. Okay, this person says, good morning. Can't stand C. Allen. His data talks don't make sense. If he continues to want no change, Pintard is nothing but another puppet that will carry out the same orders that the F&M, PLP, UBP wants. All he does is come a big, huge words and a bunch of hot air. He's an old god that loves slavery.
Oh, gee.
Smart people should know better.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This person says, great show as usual. How come no one complaining about how long the business license taken to process? The year almost over and I ain't get my own yet.
Wow.
Inland revenue is what the Privy Council considers to be the worst of the worst. Oh, my goodness. Great show is usually why people in Nassau litter so much. Boy, how
Real
could people
talk.
find it normal to throw garbage on the side of the road? And they really do. Say, boy, I tell you all nasty.
Wow.
Great show as usual. Y'all looking collect from the bookie on betting against the Lakers last night. As President says, tell the caller, please don't encourage the young people to stay away. Can you imagine how the brain drain will affect this country in 10 years? Instead, changing the way government runs, maybe. Listen, we've been trying to do that.
Yeah, for years.
For years.
Yeah. I mean, the government, I believe, should be alarmed at the fact that there is this big brain drain, right? And that qualified and talented.
They say they're alarmed.
Bahamians aren't coming home. I mean, be alarmed and do something about it, though.
The problem is, as with, it's maybe a cultural thing. With the people we have in power, the minute you suggest something to them that seems to say that they haven't been doing a good job at the thing that you're suggesting, get mad at you, and then they either ostracize you, or they just don't do it because you want it.
And these are the exact systems that we're talking need to break. You know, we had a caller earlier, or a text, I can't remember. And there was a caller who said that we need leaders. We don't need a new party. And I believe that we need both. But it's not just about leadership. Yes, everything rides and falls on leadership. Yeah. However, sometimes people are stuck in archaic systems that they don't have the ability to make change. You could put someone in leadership in a position, but still tie their hands by not allowing them to function in their role. Yeah, they're essentially tied, so they can't make a difference. So we need new systems, new policies. We need leaders who are okay with not being liked or accepted, and who will advocate for the change, and who, when you recognize that you're being tied and you can't make a difference and that's not what you want, leave. So that the deficit exists and it will begin to force them to make different decisions.
And say something.
I mean,
I know
it's
so
crazy.
many people who leave politics because they understand that it was terrible to them and the people they're trying to represent, but they don't say anything afterwards. After they leave, they don't say, these guys, when I was there, did this and didn't do that, and we couldn't do this, and we couldn't say this.
They get blacklisted.
They get blacklisted.
They get blacklisted. Yeah. They get treated as a particular way, don't have access to. It's horrible. It's like somebody said earlier, a slave master is going to whip you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's our show. It's Morning Blend. Coming up next, Morning Blend Business after this news update.
We've been all on our own.
Are you a business owner or HR professional? RF's team of pension specialists are here to empower your employees with market-leading retirement solutions and to make implementing group pensions easy and cost-effective. With RF, starting or switching your company pension plan is a breeze, and there are no setup fees. If you're looking for strong investment performance and low fees, visit rfgroup.com/empower and empower your team to retire comfortably with RF Group pensions today. That's rfgroup.com/empower.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas. This year, we plan on shattering that record. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16-island destination.
No matter who you are or what you do, we all have a part to play in our tourism industry.
This is our country.
These are our islands.
This is
why tourism is everyone's business.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Get ready! On May 4th and 5th, athletes from around the world will compete to secure their spot in the Paris Olympics. Come, witness history as our Bahamian athletes run against the world and chase the sun. From paradise to Paris at the BTC World Athletic Relays here in Nassau, Bahamas at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Get your tickets now at worldrelaysbahamas24.org or at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium box office or at BTC Moorland Marathon or BTC Southwest Plaza. BTC World Relays. Be there.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, you're in our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
and welcome to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. I'm Chester Robards along with Duquesa Dean, and we are talking with the Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology. When last have you heard that name?
It's been a while.
And it's been a while. Yeah. And we have with us in studio to tell us all about the Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology, Ms. Kasha McPhee.
Good morning.
She is the recruitment specialist over there, and we're happy to have you on to talk to us about what's going on at the Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology. So, first of all, for those people who may not have even heard about it, but just give us an overview of what the institution is.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm very, very excited. And the Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology is one of the tertiary level institutions here in the country. If you are familiar with a school by the name of Success Training College, we are also under the direction of Dr. Deswell Forbes. We have been in place now from 2009. Okay. We have offices in Nassau and in Freeport. Hi, everyone in Freeport. And we offer essentially certification programs and degree programs up to bachelor's for students who would like to sit their classes in the evenings. So if you have family, friends, work, other things that are going on in your day-to-day, you'd be able to still come in and complete an associate or a bachelor's in the same duration of time, 2 years, 4 years, but you do it completely in the evenings.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Any online options?
Yes. So we are a hybrid school. So our programs are online and face-to-face. We are now going to be back the weekend college as well. Okay. So that allows persons, if they want to do their classes solely on the weekends, they can do them on Friday evenings and full Saturdays. Okay. So we try to give people different options in education because education is the most important thing.
Yeah. You said bringing back. Where did it go?
We had the program before COVID.
Okay.
So yes, this is us bringing it back onto the market. So you'd be able to do a lot of our popular degrees. So you'd be able to do human resource. You'd be able to do banking and finance. You'd be able to do all of the classes that you need solely on a Friday evening and Saturday.
Okay.
What other tuition courses you offer? Because I heard you say degrees and certificates and certification. So what can you get a certificate in, and how is that different from the certification?
Well, the good thing is with the certificates, all of the branches of the school, so the business, the computer sciences, all of them have a listing of certificate courses that you can sit. And the certificate courses are only for a duration of about 7 to 8 weeks. Okay. So it's not long, and do that specifically in the evenings, right? So those classes would be Monday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and Thursday. It's not a long period of time, but you would get a lot of information and learn a lot about that particular advanced certificate at that one time.
Okay.
So it's really, really good. It's a really, really good option for people who say you have a degree, but you want to learn something about something else. You could do a certificate course in the medical field. You can do it in business. You can do it in education.
Okay.
So the certificate courses are really good, but the certifications are extremely important because our certifications, both the medical and the computer sciences, are linked to an organization in the States that would allow you to be certified here or if you go abroad.
Okay.
So with our certifications, you would sit in them, and then you would go straight into the international certification exam. And you sit it here.
Okay.
So you don't have to travel. You don't have to book a ticket. You don't have to get a hotel. You can sit it right here. And because of our partnerships with these certifying boards, you would be able to get your certification as soon as you pass the exam.
Okay. In what? What courses?
Well, we have them for the medical. We have them in medical billing and coding. We have them in the pharmacy tech. We have it in the EKG technician program. We have about 7 or 8 medical certifications that are available. And we also have it in the CompTIA computer certifications.
Okay.
So we have specialists, if you want to be a specialist, an IT technician. we have a little bit of everything.
Okay.
That's how I like to describe it to
Nice.
people.
Are there prerequisites for some of the certifications?
Yes. So the prerequisites for some of the certifications would be you would have to provide us with a copy of your passport. You would have to provide us with a high school diploma, and you would have to provide us with a police record. But PGCSEs in order to sit the certifications. That is so important.
No academic prereqs for that.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So are they popular?
The computer certifications are new.
Okay.
So we're still getting people to find out more about what we have to offer with those. But the medical are very, very popular because there are so many people who want to learn about different things in the medical field, but because of the tuition fees for the degrees, they're still trying to build, they're trying to build some knowledge about what you would like to do. So we had a student who didn't know which area she wanted to go in for medical.
Right.
She was still trying to figure it out. And she said, what if I sit 2 certifications? Can I do that? And I said, you know what? I think you should. And because when she completed the certifications, it helped her to define which degree, which program, what career she wanted to go into her life. So,
So do they come with some kind of placement for like the word is escaping me, but do you have to have some practical hours on the job during the certification process as a part of the program?
Yes. Well, the good thing with our program, it's a part of the overall curriculum for the program itself. So we would place you somewhere for you to do your practice, your practicum. So you would be able to get those hours actually before you sit the exam. So all of that is a part of it.
That's great to be able to apply the theory before you sit the exam, because you could probably understand it better when you do it.
Yes.
And I think that's an important question you asked, Chester, about the educational requirements, because a lot of people would like to further their education or learn new things, but don't have BGCSEs or the educational prereqs, and it may prevent them. So it's really great to hear that even if you don't have to present any of that, you just come and apply, and then you apply yourself to the program.
The program for phlebotomy technician, that's cool. That's great.
Yes,
you need good phlebotomists.
Yeah,
it's popular. It's
Is it?
It's popular.
That's good.
Yes, because a lot of medical facilities need it. They really, really need people who could assist in that area. So with the Bahamas Institute, one of the things that I pride myself with every day when I go to work is the fact that we believe that you should be able to get an education no matter your religion, your race, your creed. Everybody deserves the right to want to learn something. So if there's something that we can do or something that we have that you think would help you, we would help along the way to help you find what would make you a better person. So that's something that sometimes gets lost, and I think that it's so important that we give people options.
Agree.
Yeah. What's the size of the student population at the moment?
At the moment, sorry, Mrs. Roll, if I get this number wrong.
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't know.
But I would say it would be anywhere from 350 students.
Okay.
350 to about 400.
And where's the campus? You tell us where the campus is.
Okay, all right. If you are familiar with...
No north and south.
No.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke.
Yes, I'm not going to do that to the population this morning. It is the Commonwealth Bank Plaza that's on Mackey Street.
Okay.
It's the 2-story plaza right
next to that. Oh, yeah. Well, you see like Bahamas Institute or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that you say it, I can visualize it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
Speaking of directions, I should remind people that the Bahamas Red Cross Society's Fun Run, Walk, Push, and Mini Health Fair is on Saturday, May 11th, 2024 at 6 a.m. The cost is $30, and the venue is the Red Cross Society headquarters. You can register online for seasonsracemanagement.com or in person at the Red Cross headquarters. I just have to remind people of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll remind you to remind them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How long has the college been in existence, you said?
2009.
2009. Okay. And steadily growing.
Success, or what was the relationship then?
Well,
Do you know?
Success Training College was also under the direction of Dr. Forbes.
Right.
Okay.
So when the school separated,
Right.
he decided that it's still important
Right.
for education
Gotcha.
to
Nice.
be an option.
Right.
Okay.
So that's where it came from.
Right.
Now I see there's. I'm not making light of anything here. Fun. There's
Right.
student life.
I love it.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's sports programs.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about that. A population of 300 something, and you still get to have student life and sports programs and.
Okay, so for the student life, a lot of we just had an Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
We had a digital Easter egg hunt.
That's interesting.
That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it was a inside joke where if you were able to put all of the letters together, we gifted one of our students an adult Easter egg basket.
Oh, nice.
Once she cracked the code. So
Okay.
it was not for employees. I had a testament against that. You should be able to do it too.
Right.
But it was for
The
new students.
Okay.
It was for everyone, other than us, which I
Right.
still disagree with because that Easter egg basket was
You wanted it.
beautiful.
You wanted it. Yeah, she wanted that basket.
But we have an open
Tell
door.
them put one together just for staff. Yeah. If you're listening,
Hello,
do
everyone.
one just for staff.
Everyone to the office. Let's just roll again.
Yeah. Awesome.
But
Yeah.
we do have, I would call it an open door policy, where all areas of the office is open to our students.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
in the admissions department, if they need to speak with me, I'm there. If you need assistance with different areas, you can, 9 times out of 10, you will find access. I even have, I'm going to give the number before I leave, but I even keep our work phone. We have a group for the students where they can communicate with us as much as possible.
Okay.
We have different things that are in place specifically for students, and we try to have understanding for things that they would explain to the officer that they would tell us, and we try to just do different things for them as much as we can so that they could understand that we're here. We want you to finish. We want you to be
That
happy. We
support.
want you.
Yeah, that support is important.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we try to support.
So I gotta ask this. I love the student life thing, but even if you're doing like a certification, are you still part of the
Yes,
whole student
absolutely.
life?
As long as you're registered.
As long as you're registered.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, that's very
A
interesting.
text message asking, can you ask your guests if a lot of persons take advantage of the medical billing and coding, and does the program certify them to perform that function in the U.S.? There are a lot of online jobs, it seems, in that field.
Yes. You would receive, once you complete it, you would receive your certification from the National Health Career Associations in the States. And it would allow you to utilize your certification here or online or in America. So that is a very great question. And the medical billing and coding, we honestly have a large amount of students who certification courses, but with our certification courses, especially for the medical billing and coding, you would be able to utilize your credits that you obtain in the classes that are part of the program towards a degree.
Okay.
So that's something that a lot of students do as well, because say for instance, the phlebotomy certification, you would sit 3 classes per semester or 3 classes per session. So you would sit 6 classes before you sit the exam. So we've had students who say, okay, we offer medical assistant degree or pharmacy technician degree. Can I use those credits to cut down on my time for the degree? And then they go and transition straight into it. So you're not only certified, but you have a degree to stand on once you complete it.
Right.
So
that's great.
It's a great opportunity.
Do you have any idea of what starting salaries for some of these jobs are?
I
That's
did
okay
not.
if you don't. I'm just curious.
I did not Google it because I am trying my best to not give the student.
Bahamas Institute might lose you. You might
I know,
go do a
right? She might
certificate
run
program
course and run.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have another amazing program
Yeah.
that you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So tell us about the school to high school to that program.
Okay, no problem. So we also offer the Running Start program.
Running Start, that's what it was.
Running Start, yes. It is a program that allows high schoolers the opportunity to sit up to 30 of our classes. You would be able to start any one of the associate's degrees that we have. And at the moment, we have 31 associate degrees that you can choose from.
Wow, that's a lot.
Thank you. I have great pride in saying that.
Yeah.
But the benefits for the high school students who do decide to start this program, you can sit it if you do not have the BGCSEs. It's important to sit your BGCSEs, guys, but you can still start the program. All of the classes, like I said, are in the evening, so it would not affect your day-to-day in school. And we would cover the classes to tell you complete high school. So if you decide to sit it in the 11th grade, you can. If you decide you want to start it in the 12th grade, you can. And it's fairly simple and easy for students to integrate themselves into the college classes. It gives you a good idea of what it would be like for college, and it would also, who wouldn't want to have credits that they can use and have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm a college student right now. It's a great opportunity. And it's open now for the entire year. So you have the options of sitting the Running Start program with any one of the semesters that the school has. So that's important to say as well. Because a lot of times people don't take the opportunity because they feel that there is a deadline. And there's not a deadline. If you don't sit this semester, you can start the next one. If you don't sit that one, you can start the other one that's thereafter. You have the options. And one thing that we do as well, if we get contacted by institutions, high schools, or guidance counselors, we go to the schools as well and let them know the programs that we have, the options that they have, and what they can do with us. Yeah. Even if it's a group of 5 people, I have no problems speaking to those 5 people. I like to let people know that they have the option to do different things and that you don't have to just do one thing. Right. You're not limited. Once you have the resources or once you have the mindset that you want to try, we are going to assist you. So
question about your offerings, because 31 associate's degree programs is a lot.
Yes.
Are you able, so is it that that's a 2-year program that continues into a 4-year program if you want to now go toward your bachelor's, or would you have to essentially, what would you have to do if you take a associate's program? But we know how competitive the world is, and it's great to have a start.
Yes.
But let's say that's 2 years, I got my associates. Is there a way to continue in that program to the bachelor's?
Yes.
Into the 4 years?
Yes.
Okay.
We have graduates of our last graduating class in December who actually did that. Okay. So your credits are transferable into the bachelor's degree programs that we have.
All of them?
All of them.
Okay.
Now, we would let you know the amount of classes that you would have completed in your associates, and then you're able to just transfer them into your bachelor's. And it cuts down on the time when you sit the associates and then you go into a bachelor's into either your department or your section, or you go into something else. So the general classes are the same, or they're similar for a lot of the degrees. So if you start a degree, just throwing it out here, if you start a degree in business administration and you want to do a bachelor's in human resource, you would be able to transfer credits into your bachelor's to cut down your time.
Okay.
Because some of the classes are the same, it would automatically cut your time down for your bachelor's. So it is an option that you have at the school, and it is something that we do have students, they do with us.
Yeah. Are you able to transfer your credits from you guys into other schools?
Yes. Now, the process for transferring credits is, this one is for Rolly. So I'm going to say this correctly because I know my office is listening to me. You would have to, from our school or from the institution that you're transferring into, or that you would like to transfer from, the official transcript is your holy grail because it has all of the classes, the credits, everything that you have done. You can utilize it for different places.
And vice versa, are you able to transfer some credits into?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, there's another question on to Chester's question because sometimes when you try to transfer to other schools, or when you try to transfer to other schools, some credits are accepted and some aren't.
Yes.
What is that like at your school? What is the rate of being accepted at another school if a student transfers?
Well, to my knowledge, it's a smooth process for the most part because we do have students. Well, initially, this is something important to say. We partner with DeVry University.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people who complete the associates and the bachelor's with us, and they go straight into DeVry.
Okay.
So transferring a credit is something that I hear a lot.
Okay.
That we deal with a lot in the office just based on the partnership alone.
Okay.
Because it brings more students for our institution and it also helps them to realize that they can do Ms. Sands, Mr. Mullings, hi, to the representatives for DeVry as well, who work and actually have an office within BIBT.
Okay.
So they're right there. So when it comes to transferring to doing bachelor's or master's or associates or bachelor's, there are a lot of different avenues and ways for people to do it. And there's a certain amount that they accept.
Okay. Yeah.
Our amount, I believe it could be up to 30 credits, up to and that's based on the discretion of our administration department, who do a really good job of going through your credits and shifting through what can be used in other places and what can be used with us.
Okay.
But that's why I always tell students, before you decide which programs you'd like to sit with us, especially, look at the listing on our website of each program. So on our website, the associates, the bachelors, all of the classes that you would sit in the program is listed there.
Right.
From your core, your general, your everything is there. So if you are coming in and you say, okay, what can I use? If you look at it, it's literally a guideline to give you an idea of what may be accepted from us. Or what may be used by us too.
And it's a very nice, user-friendly website too.
Thank you.
Very good. It's probably a good time to take our break and run through the morning business report, and then Morning Blend Business will be right back.
Take that mess from off the wall. Give that baby back its ball. Leave other people things alone. There's other ways to get involved. Get involved. Don't be no fool. Stay in school.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
You've heard of electric cars. Now it's time you drive one. Easy Car Sales welcomes you to experience the power and prestige of the latest electric vehicles. Plug in at home for a 65% discount off your gas bill and never get stuck at the pump again. Build your dreams of a better future with a better car. Easy. Visit easy242.com to book your free test drive today. Save your money while driving in style. Only at Easy Car Sales.
Attention all new Providence customers. Are you ready to spring into savings and make this Mother's Day unforgettable? From April 26th to May 9th, pay your water and sewage bill in full and get a chance to win big. That's right, simply pay your bill and you'll be automatically entered to win a stunning 55-inch smart TV. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to treat yourself or that special mom in your life. Visit any of our water and sewage offices to learn more. Spring into savings and make this Mother's Day one to remember. Water and sewage committed to growth, committed to quality. Hurry, offer ends soon. Terms and conditions apply.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're for you.
The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Mothers are the heart of our homes, the soul of our memories, and the guiding light through life's journeys. Show your love with a gift from Kelly's House & Home's Mother's Day sale, Friday, May 3rd through Saturday, May 11th. Enjoy 20% off selected dinnerware, glassware, luggage, silk flowers, and picture frames, except on net items. One lucky person can win a gift basket for Mother's Day. Visit our Facebook page for more information. Kelly's House & Home's Mother's Day sale, May 3rd through 11th. Happy Mother's Day, all with love from Kelly's House & Home.
This is Guardian Radio, FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Take that mess from off the wall. Give that baby.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Central Bank Governor John Roll said yesterday that he is anticipating the external reserves will see a $500 million drawdown before the end of the year. Roll, speaking at the bank's quarterly economic press briefing, told reporters that during the first quarter of this fiscal year, commercial banks' total foreign currency purchases from the private sector rose by 5.4% year over year, slowing from a 9.2% rate of expansion during the first quarter of 2023. And Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper said yesterday that the new immigration e-card will be a big win for Bahamian vendors when it phases out the outgoing paper-based immigration card with the enactment of a new bill. Cooper, who is also the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, said during his contribution to the immigration amendment bill that the e-card will facilitate the elimination of the paper immigration card and replace it with a form that the Carnival Corporation has purchased 5,000 palm trees for its Celebration Key cruise port on Grand Bahama that were all grown on Grand Bahama, the cruise line said in a statement. The statement explained that the trees were grown through the company's Plant a Tree initiative that allowed it to purchase 40% of the trees for the property from small-scale farmers on Grand Bahama. And CFAL successfully completes an oversubscribed phone call preference share offering. Kalina Financial Advisors Limited completed its oversubscribed $45 million preference share offering in Focal Holdings Limited. CFAL, in a release to the media, said, quote, Kalina Financial Advisors Limited successfully completed the $40 million preference share offering for Focal Holdings Limited on Friday, April 26, 2024. The offering of Focal Series F preference shares was open to the public from April 15th to the 26th, 2024. However, with strong demand from the investment community, the offering was oversubscribed by $5 million, and a new target subscription amount of $45 million was achieved. And Lucaya's Solar Power Limited in Fairfield Solar Plant on Grand Bahama yesterday, introducing clean and sustainable energy solutions to the island. Lucaya's Solar Power Limited, a project developed by Inti Corporation Limited, is the start of the development of a sustainable future for power production on Grand Bahama, Inti's Chief Executive Officer Owen Bethel said yesterday during the commissioning ceremony. The Fairfield site is expected to provide more than 6 megawatts of power to the Grand Bahama Power Company. The development of a Devon site will eventually bring the total power production to 11 megawatts. And Central Bank Governor John Roll said yesterday that he expects the government to soon bring legislation on the Collateral Assets Registry to Parliament for enactment. Roll said during the bank's quarterly economic press briefing that the CAR will clear the way to implement the registry under the ambit of the Registrar General's Department, alongside other complementary reforms being actively targeted for the registrar. Overseas workers' paychecks grew faster in the first quarter, a possible concern for the Fed. Pay and benefits for Americans workers grew more quickly in the first 3 months of this year, a trend that could contribute to higher inflation and raise concerns about the future path of price increases at the Federal Reserve. Compensation as measured by the government's Employment Cost Index rose 1.2% in the January-March quarter, up from a 0.9% this quarter, the Labor Department said Tuesday. Compared with the same quarter a year earlier, compensation growth was 4.2%, the same as the previous quarter. The increase in wages and benefits is good for employees, to be sure, but could add to concerns at the Fed that inflation may remain too high in the coming months. The Fed is expected to keep its key short-term rate unchanged after its latest policy meeting concludes on Wednesday. And that's your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Mess from off the wall. Give that baby back its ball. Leave other people things alone. There's other ways to get involved. Get involved. Don't be no fool.
Back in business on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robots along with Duquesa Dean, and I want to remind you one more time before we have to run about a run. The Bahamas Red Cross Society's Fun Run, Walk, and Push and Mini Health Fair. Their theme, Heroes Among Us. That is going on Saturday, May 11th, 2024 at 6 a.m. The cost is $30, and the start is at the Red Cross Society headquarters. That's on JFK Drive. That is the venue, and they'll tell you about the route.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and we are having a great conversation with the Bahamas Institute for Business and Technology, and we're talking about what's going on at the school, what programs are being offered, how you could get into some programs, and a lot of other good stuff.
Right.
So
yeah.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah. So I know that you're a business school. That's what the name says. Do you do any trade training or?
Yes. So we do offer, well, trying to think of the best way to describe what we have to offer. A lot of people think because the school says business and technology that we have nothing else.
Okay.
And even right now, we have actually Saturday.
Okay.
So it would be available at the school from 9 to 1 on Saturdays, and the registration is open until Friday.
Okay.
So that's one of the advanced certificate courses, trades that you can learn that can help you if you want to work in hospitality, or if you would like to open a company for yourself where you go around to different events and you do mixology work. Yes. So there are other things that the school have. We have education. We have a whole department for education.
Okay.
So we have different areas that you would be able to do different things.
Okay.
And I might get in trouble for this, but one of the only things that we don't have
don't get in trouble
is psychology.
Okay.
Which is something that I hope.
Okay.
Hint, hint. This is something that I hope that we bring into place. But we have the medical certifications, like I was discussing, the computer certifications.
Right.
We even have professional management courses.
Okay.
And those are short-term courses for people who would like to learn more about how to run companies. If you're a manager, if you want to learn about conflict resolution, which is so important.
Right. Okay.
In the Bahamas, it's so important. If you want to learn about different avenues and things that you can do in human resource, if you want to.
So where can people find this information? Where would you like them to go to look at? This is a two-part question. Let me start first with, how much does the mixology class cost?
$5.95.
For how long? 6 weeks? 8 weeks?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. Okay. All right.
$5.95.
And there's no exam to pass that?
There are not exams, but there are different techniques that you would have to learn.
Right.
And things that our instructor, who knows a lot about the industry and being a mixologist, there are certain things that he would have in place for you to do.
Okay.
But it's not just theory paper.
Okay.
You would actually be
mixing
and learning different things in that department. So it's pretty cool for that. I actually want to sneak in on one of their classes, and I hope they don't see me there.
They're gonna let you in.
And before you wonder, is this something that you can make a future out of?
Believe me,
and don't just try and go and be a bartender for being a bartender's sake.
Right.
Because there's a theory behind putting tasty drinks together. It's not about just putting too much alcohol and getting people smashed and It's not what it's about.
Right. It's a craft.
It's a craft.
You can ask Marv, the mixologist, our great Bahamian mixologist who travels with the Ministry of Tourism.
Yes.
What that life can
it's
be
a
like.
special skill.
And if you think $5.95 is expensive,
it's reasonable. For how much weeks?
If you were good,
7-8 weeks.
8 weeks.
If you were a good bartender with a good attitude, you can make that in tips in 1 week.
Correct.
Yes, that is true.
A day.
That
depends,
is true.
Right? So where can you find information? What's your website? If you have social media, like where do you want people to go?
We do have all social media avenues. We have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Our website is bibtbahamas.com, and it's fairly simple, I believe. Everything that you would need to know about the programs are there. If you'd like to speak with someone, the cell phone contact would be 422-0141, and I'm normally the person that you would hear on the other end. You can WhatsApp us, text us. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Any questions that you may have about anything, you can contact us and we'd be happy to help. And we have 2 phone numbers, 323-4347 and 602-0997. The 602-0997 is for Freeport.
Okay.
Because people need to know that in Grand Bahama, they would have the option of doing these programs and these courses, these classes as well.
Okay.
So if you want to reach out to us, if you want to come in office, I will be there. We have a candy little thing in our office for people when they come in and ask questions. And there's no such thing as a wrong question. There's no such thing as too many questions. Anything that you want to know, any information that you would need. If you are a student or if you're someone who needs us to speak with your parent or guardian, we also do that as well, to explain to them what you would be doing. We try to make it as easy as possible for people to reach out to us.
Yeah.
So that's how you reach out.
Take advantage. Take advantage. Take
Yes,
advantage. A lot of
yeah.
things going on in the Bahamas right now. A lot of employment coming, and you should have something to pull out and say, "Hey, I got this."
Yes.
And hire me, please.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You even got. Are these like one-day things? I see one for applying leadership principles
Yes.
Okay.
within the Bahamian culture.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
an actual seminar.
It is an actual seminar. And the seminars would be, they're going to be in place in the school as well. So it's going to be on campus. So you'd be able to come in. So if you
Okay.
want, we have an entire section specifically for seminars too. So if you call one of the numbers, or you reach out to the number, or you reach out to one of the emails that is listed on the website, everyone, the communication is very good.
Okay.
So we'd be able to speak amongst each other to assist you if you want to sign up for the seminars too. And they're really, really good.
Okay.
So it would, if you're interested in doing a seminar, if you have a group of you or just you individually, come on down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one though. That's very specific.
Yeah, to
Yes.
the Bahamian
The
culture.
Bahamian culture.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone local put that together.
Yes.
Someone at BIBT.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
decided that they needed to focus on how to apply leadership principles
In the
the
Bahamian-
context of the Bahamian culture. That's
Yeah.
great
Absolutely.
because
That's the
Yeah.
best way to put it.
absolutely
So a lot of interesting programs.
we need a lot more
running,
different
yeah.
kind of programs like that are within the context of Bahamian
Culture.
the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
Bahamians are.
Yeah.
Because these
It's actually should be a necessary course for expat leaders.
Hey.
You know, because they come in with a certain expectation and we ain't it.
Put
So
your hands up in the
learn
air.
learn our culture or
Yes.
learn, those sorts of
Mandatory.
things. Yeah, just make it so that you don't have culture. You don't have
Yeah.
what they call culture shock, you know?
So along with that very expensive work permit
Right,
that these companies
right,
seem to
right.
love to spend money on,
Right. Make
need
sure
to
that
make
they
sure
get-
that you go send them to BIBT
Yeah.
for this particular management and leadership academy course.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they blow some money on them work permits,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
You need to go
So-
spend some money with BIBT for that particular course right
Yeah.
there. Applying leadership principles
In
within
the
the Bahamian
Bahamian
culture.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So, other programs on the website, you see School of Business, School of Nursing and Allied Health Sciences, School of Computer Science, School of Education, School of Law and Justice.
Law and criminal justice.
We learned a lot about you this morning. We shall-
You have the associate's degree and then advanced certificate courses in law and justice. Okay.
Yes.
So you have certificates in civil procedures,
Yes.
law of contract, law of tort,
Yes.
law of office management, law of legal search procedures,
Yes.
and title and conveyance.
Okay.
Why aren't
There are a
people?
lot of
Are
options.
people taking advantage of these?
A lot of options.
You could find a little niche job,
Yes.
Yeah.
a big niche job.
Yeah.
I
A
mean, title and
specialized-
conveyance.
Yeah. Yes.
That's big work there and big
is.
business.
It is. And only for 7 to 8 weeks. You cannot beat that.
Right.
No,
You cannot beat that.
Well, I mean, it's just
This-
great that
this
people
like-
are getting this information
this like
now,
best kept secret
you know,
kind of
and then of course the prereq is that you show up, fill out the application, and show up for your classes and apply yourself. So
I hope when you
know,
get back to work, you got a line at the door.
I hope
knocking
so
on the
too.
door.
Plenty calls and emails but for that as well.
Yes, I'm excited, and I have no problems sitting and explaining the different things that you would learn. And even with the website, what a lot of people don't know, there's a course description that will tell you what you're going to learn under majority of
Okay.
those advanced certificate courses. So you're not going to go into
Right,
what
what
you're
you're
going to
having,
be,
right.
what's going to be a part of the course.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Do you
right
have
there.
a course on like housekeeping, like making a bed and
We
cleaning?
I'm
and
looking at it.
cleaning?
I'm
We
looking
do.
at it.
Oh no,
There's an
you're looking at it. Are you
certificate
serious?
course
Yes,
on
we
housekeeping
do.
services.
Are you serious?
Yes, we do.
Just I can't even see what you're looking at.
Yeah,
And we're-
it's right there.
wow.
We literally have
Wow.
we're one of
That's-
the
because I mean I think that's a big career field too. It doesn't have to be
is.
like for a hotel or anything like that, but just having I see all the time people putting out calls for great housekeepers, right? So it's wonderful that you need a great housekeeper.
And here's a tip. You could take that certificate course and then you could go shop around to Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Because they need people to take care of their
all
places
the time.
all the time.
Yes. There's a demand for great housekeepers.
I just gave somebody a good business
yeah,
idea.
So
Go to BIBT, get your
jump in that,
certificate, and be the top person to take care of people's Airbnbs.
Correct. And once you build a good reputation, people will come and grab you because good help is like literally really hard to find. Y'all doing some good things down there. It's really great.
I got business ideas for everybody.
Yeah, right. So you could have mixology, you could have housekeeping. Listen, there are great starter careers.
So there's front office management certificate. These are advanced certificate courses. Intro to hospitality management, which is an advanced certificate course. Housekeeping services and intro to travel management, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but that's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, travel and tour services. Oh, it's the information's right here.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
Geography for travel and tourism.
Yeah.
People need that. Nobody know where things is on the map, I can tell you that.
No, map. You got to go to Google and follow the directions. Map.
Sales and marketing for travel and tourism. World cruise industry. Oh, I need this. I need this certificate right here.
Oh, that's great to see that there are so many options. I'm going to look through that some more. I probably will take one.
Oh, and you do this. There's 6 credits for an internship.
Yeah.
Oh, they call travel and tourism externship.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
There you go. Put some weight behind your name.
That's
Get
right.
a certificate or a
That's
certification
right.
or
That's right.
specialization, and make sure you go to B.
IBT.
Yeah.
Who this person is asking me crazy questions. Text message.
So to all your supporters who are listening, your office and your family. This is your first time on radio?
This is my first time here.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're a great ambassador for your organization.
You did a great job.
A really, really great job.
Thank you.
Know.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I had a really great time.
For you all who were wondering, this is Kasha McPhee, the student recruitment specialist at the Bahamas.
And we're going to just ask Kasha to,
Business
if there's
and
someone who's listening and they're on the fence about, whether they want to do something with a career or whatever, pitch to them as to why they should come to you.
Opportunities. There are so many opportunities in Nassau that we do not know about because we don't give ourselves the ammunition that we need to fight for ourselves. I always try to tell people that any education is good education. You don't have to just go straight into, I don't think I can do a degree. I don't think I can sit a class. What if it's bad timing for me, or what if I'm not able to have the money right away? There are options. If you are on the fence about programs, classes, or if you want to have a one-on-one experience, or would be able to give you an idea or assist you with helping you to pick something. If you're unsure, we will sit and take the time to give you the options that would best suit you based on what you want, based on the career you want, based on the path that you want to go in for your education. There are options.
Okay.
That's what I would tell.
That's really great to hear. Options.
I have a text message came in just now saying, LOL, I work in the field and I can tell you there's no big demand for black Bahamian housekeepers. The ads in the paper are only a formality. If you're not Filipino or from South America, ain't nothing happening. And that may be true in the sense that if you don't set yourself apart from any of those other people, you would never get the job.
Right. Like, why are you, why are they in the position for you to say that? What is it that they're doing? Right? Like, what is it? I like that, Justin.
And there's a lot of reasons that people may choose those types of people. And I can be honest, a lot of people don't like the familiarity of having a Bahamian and talking about housekeepers in general. I mean, we're talking about housekeeping in a hotel. That's not what this person is probably talking about.
My housekeeper is a Bahamian.
Well,
I
You have it.
absolutely adore her.
Yeah.
I would not trade her for the world. Like,
Well,
she
amen
was
to that.
hard to come by.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So,
I imagine.
and I've recommended her. She probably assists maybe 7 or 8 other friends or family members because of how excellent her work is.
Yeah.
So the thing about
Set herself apart.
yeah, that's what you do.
Absolutely.
You have to be the best so that
Yeah.
people come for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's what BIBT is going to do for you, help you to be the best. So thank you so much, Kasha, for coming to talk. I hope this isn't the last time you come to us.
Oh, I'm definitely coming back. I will definitely be
Please come back. This is good information, and a lot more people need to hear it. And tell your friends, tell your family that this is available and to take advantage of it.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This was a great experience, and you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
That's the question. She's the awesome.
No, it's Chester.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I think that's our show for today. Thank you all for joining us. I'm back tomorrow with a special guest co-host, 2 special guest co-hosts, I guess. But that's a show. On the Clock with Aaron Green is up next. Be good to each other. God bless you. Take care of each other, please, out there. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Don't be no fool, stay in school. Let your mind become a tool. Chairs were made for fools to be. Locked away from society. Get involved, get involved.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.